This is the venue where the festival has started 30 years ago. It has grew itself out from a 1.5-day event to almost a 1-week event with full of music and gastro experiences. So it is our great pleasure to have you here. And let me just give you a token of our appreciation that you have came here and a bouquet of a flower to your wife.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Wow. Wow. Amazing. Oh, man. Oh, man. This is crazy, man. Wow. Wow.
I greet everyone here. I'm really excited, as already you mentioned, that this is the 30th annual celebration of the Gastroblues Festival. But I was also really excited, but as far as I know, that this is the very first time that we can invite a famous superstar, not only a guitar player, but also a composer, a singer, for a masterclass here. So thank you for the sponsors, also for the Gardai family here. I'm today here because I'm trying to translate and also moderate. So if you have any question, even in Hungarian or English, trust me, your Hungarian and English is much more better than mine, but I'm trying to translate. So I encourage everyone who has a question, even in Hungarian. So hogyha tényleg magyarul is bárkinek kérdése van, mindenki nyugodtan ne legyen szégyellős, akkor tegye fel, és akkor megpróbálok fordítani. Or if you need anything, just let me know. So welcome Eric Gales on the stage. By the way, he was awarded by the Blues Music Award in 2019-2012 consequences as a Blues Rock Artist of the Year. So thank you very much, Eric Gales on the stage.
First, I want to say this is, as you see, I like wearing jewelry, so this is amazing. I'm going to wear it tonight at the show, and this is it touches our heart every time we come to a festival overseas, and there's heavy thought process into a gift that they give to us, and we don't take any of it lightly. It means a lot to us, and we're very thankful and we appreciate it. Welcome everybody to this hour masterclass, and I've done quite a few of these before, and there's really no set process that I have. I just kind of go with what my heart is. I'll talk and play a little bit and see if y'all got some questions. There's no big rocket science, you know, to what's about to happen here for this hour. I'm just gonna play a few things and talk about a few things. And first off, let me say how excited I am to finally be able to play in front of people again after 2+ years of being cooped up and, you know, confined to the house. And my love is being on stage, playing in front of people, and being able to give the energy that I have with everything that I have to the crowd, and that's where it's at for me. So tonight is going to be a huge start of a month-long tour. So we're overseas for an entire month, and tonight is the very, very first night of our tour. And I have big plans to make tonight really special, and I'm gonna play with everything that I have, and I'm gonna give y'all all that I got. Is that okay with you? Yeah? Okay. You want a lot or you want a little bit? You want a lot? Okay, all right. I'll just play something first and go from there. Is that all right? That'll work? That's cool? Yeah. All right. Thank you. Everything that I play, man, again, is no thought process. I dive in the deep end of the water with no life jacket and just swim for dear life. And it works out pretty good. I haven't drowned yet, so I'm a very emotional person, so I play from emotions and feelings and things that I think about at that moment in time. And the outcome is always surprising to me, because I never have any idea what I'm going to do before I do it. So it's always a surprise. Not everybody plays that way, but for some reason it works for me. And that's with anything that I do, be it rock or funk or classical or jazz or country western or any style. I take the same approach. I don't really particularly have an explanation for how I play either, except for the fact that I just picked it up at 4 years old. And this is how I picked it up. And I haven't looked back since. Mind you, I play left-handed upside down, but I write right-handed. So I'm confused, but it works for me. I guess the lesson in that is whatever works for you, works for you. Early back when I first started playing, there was a thing going around to where if somebody that played like me came around, then they were told to leave. If it were a room of guitar players and everybody was right-handed and I came in the room, basically I was looked at like I had a disease. And it's strange to feel that way because in my country, it still feels that way. Not by how I play, but for the color of my skin. So there's a current fight every day. And the one way that helps me kind of break the barriers of that is my guitar. Because I don't care if you are a racist. I don't care if you have something against me. I am potentially doing something that you like. And in my own way, that's my way of breaking them walls down, because here you are listening and watching somebody play that particularly you don't like because of the color of their skin. But now the music itself has frozen you in your tracks. And now you stand there paying attention to me. Unfortunately, it shouldn't have to be that way. So that brought me to that thought process that back in the day, if I came in playing this way, I was looked at as I was the problem. But let me ask this question. For the people that are right-handed and play guitar this way, who said that you're playing it the right way? Who made that rule? Y'all could be wrong, and I could be right. My point being is there is no right way. What works for you, works for you. And if you don't take anything else from what I'm sitting here talking to you about, is that I'm just a human being in this world as the only one with my DNA. Nobody else in this world has Eric Gale's DNA. Nobody. And that translates to the guitar playing. I get the comments and compliments and comparisons to the great Jimi Hendrix and all of these other greats out there. Let's just start out with the big fact. Jimi Hendrix is, to me, one of, if not the greatest guitar player of all time. Hands down. Now, that's my opinion. That's not a fact. Reason is not a fact because there are many different styles. Some could say Tommy Emmanuel is the best guitar player ever. Some could say Eric Johnson is the best guitar player ever. Some could say Van Halen. Some could say Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, Steve Lukather, Albert King, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Robin Trower, Frank Marino, Wes Montgomery, Chet Atkins, Roy Clark, George Benson. All of those people have different styles. So to say that a player is the best of all time, it's basically in the eye of the person that's saying it. Back to the DNA. I get the comparison to Jimi Hendrix quite a lot. Is it possible because we're both black and I so happen to hold the guitar the same way that he does? Now, my wife has told me that there are very eerie pictures that we look alike a little bit, and she admitted to it. But no one has Jimi Hendrix's DNA but Jimi Hendrix. I'm getting to a point here. So people that make that comparison, I take it as the highest compliment in the world, but never ever will I ever try to be the next Jimi Hendrix. I'm doing my damnedest to try to be the first Eric Gales. That's all I'm trying to be. That's it. And if I do that, that is leaving my mark in this world. If by me playing, it reminds you of Jimi Hendrix, if my playing reminds you of Albert King or Muddy Waters or John Lee Hooker or Robin Trower or Frank Marino or all these different guys, Roy Gallagher or Gary Moore or all of these really badass dudes that I am highly influenced by, Buddy Guy, B.B. King, Freddie King, Burger King, all of these different important people, then that is exactly what I want you to take away, because these people I am influenced by. It's evolution. It should be that way. You should pick up on everybody that I was influenced by, just like I picked up on everybody that Jimi Hendrix was influenced by. He was influenced by Muddy Waters, Albert King, Robert Johnson, Buddy Guy, Curtis Mayfield. So I picked up all of them and a bunch of more other people on the way. So the younger generation, such as your kids nowadays, they're supposed to pick up on me and everybody that I pulled from. That's the proper chain of evolution. So I can't do that trying to be somebody else. Basically, is I had a rough enough life just trying to be me. And I don't know if everybody know my story, but I had a pretty tough life. And I did it to myself. Yeah, I almost died about 5 or 6 times because I didn't know how to stop doing dope. But finally, I found the right way. And this month, 15 days, I'll be coming up on 6 years dope free. And and that's not, I honestly didn't tell you that for an applause, but I appreciate it. It's to let you know that the things that I play from and what makes the character of me and my playing stand out, I would say, so powerful. And it make people understand what I'm talking about from another country that I can't even verbally speak to you and we understand anything, but you understand what I'm playing. It's because of the things that circumvent through what I've been through. So I have a lot of death, a lot of pain that comes through the playing. I got a lot of happiness and joy too, but all of that are things that it's a whirlwind that's turning into top of my head every show, every time I'm playing. My wife even catches me sometimes in my sleep, and she hits record because I'm humming a tune or playing a riff while I'm asleep. I guess the moral of the story is, if you're in this room, then you have been blessed with the capability to either play some kind of instrument or understand some kind of instrument. God or whoever didn't pass that out to everybody in the world. He didn't give the capability to understand what somebody is saying without having to speak to them. He didn't pass out being able to express yourself through an instrument. There's a whole world out there that has not a clue of what we in here talking about. Not a clue. And I feel sorry for them, because music and the guitar and everything involving music makes me feel so warm and gives me an emotion that immediately makes me start to cry. If music can make that happen, then I'm very blessed to have been given just a little bit. I don't think that I'm the best in the world. I just try to be me. And it has enabled me to play for a lot of different people and bring some joy and happiness to some people's lives. And in the big picture, that's the most important to me. Because at this rate, this world is in a very terrible shape. And if for 90 minutes I can make the world forget about all of the troubles that are happening, then that's very, very powerful. And you guys and girls have no idea how much an honor it is for me to have the opportunity to explain and tell my story in this class. So a lot of my playing comes from the things that I'm talking about. And I'll give more examples of the playing. Thank you. That was a tune of my own. And it's called Picking and Grinning, by the way. Actually, if you come to the show tonight, you will hear the full band version. And it's pretty raunchy, man. It's a good tune. I like it, have a lot of fun. Before I go any further, I'll take this moment and get some questions, or anybody got any questions they want to ask at the moment?
Hi, Mr. Gales. Thank you for being here. You've been here 3 years ago in Paks, as I remember. We talked there, and after that, mainly this year, you were quite successful with your new album Crown, with Joe Bonamassa as producer and things like that. Do you feel like that you gained your crown? Is it yours now? Do you feel?
That's a very good question. Thank you for your question. Honestly, I do. I feel like I've gained my crown by a lot of adversities that I was able to overcome. And me getting my crown actually has nothing to do with the guitar. It's just finally living my life without a stranglehold of an addiction being attached to me is enough to have a crown, if you ask me about it. So for that fact, I would say that I've been carrying a crown for about almost 6 years now. As it pertains to the guitar and playing, I feel like I do have it, but I haven't actually put it on yet. I'm waiting a little bit because what I have in my sights that's gonna happen, that you just wait. There's very more to come.
What's gonna happen?
I can't tell you. Just keep living and you'll find out.
I'll try.
I hope you do. There's a lot more in store for Eric Gales, but I do have the crown. I just haven't put it on yet. Thank you. Come on, don't be afraid. Ask questions. Come on now. Come on.
Legtöbb ember, többek között én is a színpadi előadásmódod miatt is nagyon szeretlek téged. Kiabálás, nevetgélés, a játék közben, interakció a közönséggel, hogy ez mennyire a show része, mennyire tudatos, és vagy pedig ezt mindig átadod magad a pillanatnak, és belülről jön, és nem kontrollálod ezt a dolgot.
Na, megpróbálom. So in the audience, most of the people, like this guy, Tamás is like you because the part of your energy, or part of your show is not only just playing, but the energy, you're shouting and smiling. Right. And sorry, what was the second part? Is it part of the show? Is it a part of the show, or it just
natural?
It's conscious.
It is all. It's not planned. It is all spontaneous. I don't think I can do a show without it happening. It's part of me, in particular, because when I'm playing, I have no idea what I'm about to get ready to do. So when it comes out, it's a surprise to me. So I have to react to it, so I shout and it's really fun. It's an awesome, fun feeling. I'm not gonna lie to you. It feels amazing when I just step on stage and don't think about it and the stuff come out it's not planned. It's not scripted. It is all at just spur of the moment. Thank you for that question. Thank you. Who else? Yeah?
El tudnád képzelni, hogy valamikor, ha úgy adódna, fele tudnád áldozni a gitározásodat, a gitárt valami miatt végképp az életbe? Ez lenne a kérdés.
Could you ever imagine that you leave guitar and you're playing the guitar and give it us for something else in your life?
Could I ever imagine playing and could I imagine doing something?
Giving up playing
Giving
the
it
guitar.
up?
Giving up playing the guitar.
Nah. No, I don't think so, man. I'm 47 years old. I got 44 years into my craft, and I think this is what I'm gonna be doing for the rest of my life. So, no, to answer your question, I don't think so.
It is very fine that you play from your heart and all this emotion and natural, but do you still practice 8 hours a day, or how does it go technically? Because you know we see and we hear what we see and hear, and it doesn't come, or maybe it comes like you've been practicing for 20 years and not anymore. But I'm really excited how you do it.
Man, honestly, the way it comes to me, like prior to starting this tour, we had about 3 weeks of a break because we were in the UK for 2 weeks and then we had some time off. I only picked up the guitar once. And it was the other day, my wife was in the bathroom, you know, getting all pretty and everything. And I said, man, I'm gonna play for her while she get ready. And I picked up the acoustic and played a little bit, and that was it. I rarely even play. You know, when I'm not touring or in the studio, I don't even touch it.
So you don't like it at home for yourself?
No, I love it. I love it at home. Something has to spark me, you know. But now, when I am sparked, she can tell you that I'll go in the room and I'll play for 2-3 days straight. Like straight. Let me give it a little explanation to that. That what I just described is what you call being inspired. So when I find myself inspired, it makes me want to go to my guitar or drums or keys or bass or vocals. And I'm so inspired that 2 or 3 days will pass by before I even realize that it's been that long. In my earlier, younger days, I was a lot of woodshedding every day. If I have a certain piece that I need to learn or something I need to brush up on, then, you know, I'll go and woodshed and, you know, but other than that, man, I am doing a whole lot more regular old life stuff, chilling with my cat. Watching movies with my wife, you know. I got an old school car. I got a classic old school car. So does my wife. So we ride around town in our old school cars and, you know, basically kick back. We'll listen to a lot of music, but playing is very, very rare. And it's not that I don't like it. I love it. But I got thousands of guitars around the house. I got piano. I got keyboards. I got all kinds of stuff to make the music, so that if I catch the inspiration, it's right there and I can go to it.
Speaking of guitars, is this one that you're holding now made for this Crown
It
album?
is. I'm glad you asked that question. There is a friend of mine who, listen very carefully when I tell you this. The guy that made this guitar, his name is Eric Gale. For real, his name is...
So it's not your name on the neck?
It is. His name is G-A-L-E, Eric Gale. And Gale, that's right, yeah. Is it? Yeah. So his is Gale and mine is Gale's. And the guy came to my show a few years ago, and I was at the merchandise table signing the CDs and stuff like that, which I have with me at the show tonight, and I'll be signing them. But anyway, and the guy walked up, and while I'm signing the CD, he shows his ID to me. And it was a white dude, by the way. So I'm like, here's a white dude with my name. And I was like, dude, I said, Hey, so my wife name's LaDonna, and I told him, I said, dude, if your wife named LaDonna, we gonna have a problem. I said, babe, here's the white version of us. So crazy. So he holds his ID up and it says, man, Eric Gale. I said, babe, this dude got my same name, or close enough. And turns out that the guy is a luthier. He makes guitars, and he's only been making guitars for 2 years. And he made this. Wow. He made 2 of them. He made one for himself, and he made one for me. And he had this etched. This is not like a stick-on. It is etched like a tattoo in there. And so my friend, he is fascinated with bullets and guns and stuff like that. So the frets are the shells of the .22 bullet. That's the frets. And it, on the back of it, it says, never underestimate the power of your testimony. That's on the back. And he made it because the record came out, and this is the Crown edition. And another guy that's a big fan, he made, it's been worn because I've been playing it a lot, but he has this kind of way that he designed pick guards. So he had 2 of them made, one for me, and they're twins because, you know, Eric Gale and Eric Gale's. And this is etched in there. This is, you can feel it like Braille up there. And he had a 3D printer, and it printed in there, and he said, I got a surprise for you, and this is, it's only 2 of a kind made, and it's the Eric Gale's Crown edition.
Does this mean that the Magneto guitars are gone?
No. I actually have a Magneto. I still have my Magnetos. I think I'm gonna be with them for life. I love Magnetos. But I also, the relationship I have with Magneto is that I'm not limited to not being able to play other stuff. You know, I got relationships with Paul Reed Smith, you know, other different companies and Olympus and stuff like that. But
what about the original one, the Fenders, the Strats that you played before a lot and not anymore?
The thing is, earlier in my career, yes, you know, Fenders were my go-to, and as you still see, I still play Strat configurated guitars. During the time and period in my career where I was heavily engulfed into doing a lot of drugs and going to prison and stuff like that, a lot of people chose to stay away from me, you know. And I understand, because I was a ticking time bomb. So, you know, it's hard to deal with somebody that is so unpredictable. So, you know, Fender wasn't knocking at my door, you know, like they were before. And on the one hand, I can't blame them, but on the other hand, you know, yeah, I was getting high, but I never stopped playing. So, you know, it's other companies that were there for me when nobody else would be. And Magneto is one of them companies, and I'm very, very happy and very pleased with the new Eric Gale's Raw Dogs that are for sale now. And yeah, I'm very pleased with them, but I have a lot of different things.
Could you tell what the difference is between a Fender Strat and this one, or a Magneto for you? Is it more playable, or what's the difference?
All of them are playable, to be honest with you. All of them are playable, man. The necks are slightly different. The neck on my Magneto is basically a flat, has no, which I like those. I mean, for some reason, I can sit down and play that type of guitar all day without, you know, no problems. I can play this guitar all day. The way that my friend Eric Gale made this neck is he looked at the schematics of the neck from Magneto and made this one like that. So, you know, but I got quite a few Fender guitars, you know, that I got a 62, I got an Eric Johnson model, I got another hot rodded, you know, Fender Strat, and, you know, I have them. And, you know, I'll never throw them away. You know, and even still, if Fender came to me with a multi-million-dollar endorsement deal, I still wouldn't get rid of my magnetos. And they would have to work a deal out where I can still play my magnetos, because even though Magneto is not as huge as Fender, Magneto are the people that were there for me when I didn't so-called have a crown. So I'm gonna continue to rock with them because they rock with me. That means a lot to me. Oh,
Sorry. Ladies first. Ladies first.
I know the answer, but because the band, we all feed off of each other, and your shows are so high energy, could you describe to them how much easier it is for your creativity to have an energized crowd feed back to you?
That's a very good question. Of course it would be, that's my wife. Yeah, man, you guys as a crowd have no idea how much your role play into how much into the show that I am. Now, mind you, if I did a show and was only 2 people there, I would still give everything that I could possibly give, because those 2 people came to see something, and I'm gonna give them what I have. Now, with that being said, I go to the edge of the stage, and I'm gonna do it quite a lot tonight. I go to the edge of the stage and I'll do this and I'll yell like I'm a wrestler or something like that, because I watch wrestling. And the answer back that I get is constant gasoline for the car that I'm driving, for me to go to maximum speed, Formula One speed. And it just gives me fuel to turn that over and give 1,000,000%. And sometimes there are crowds that really don't know how to react. They are sometimes sitting there in shock and awe. Like, yo, I mean, I don't know if I should clap or, you know what. And then I tell my wife, I say, babe, you know, there's different reactions to certain things, and I get it. But the kind of crowds that when I yell at you and you yell back at me, oh my God, man. Those are the feelings that give you, I'm getting them now just thinking about it. I almost want to, yeah, no, I ain't gonna do it right now, but it's just an awesome feeling to have that reciprocated. And it just gives me the more gas to keep going. Yeah. Anybody else? Yeah.
2 questions, if I can have. The first one is about your pedal board. So how do you produce this beautiful sound in the 2nd and the 4th position? I mean, the pickup position. This is the first question. The second one, if you could only name 3 of of those guitar players who inspired you the most, who would be those 3 guitar players?
I'll answer the second question first. Eric Johnson, Stevie Ray, and Albert King. First question. I just go back and forth, man. As much as people comment about the soloing that I do, the chords are equally, maybe even more important to me. So, and I know this is kind of a rest stop to the question that you asked about the first and second position. It's just, I mean, the makeup of the guitar, it's some pretty damn good pickups that's in this guitar, by the way. There are Jason Luller pickups that are in the guitar, if you know about Luller pickups. And I just like to switch back and forth, man. And it's just, and even that is no particular process in it, you know. It just all depends on what may be happening, you know.
I mean, any stone boxes and modulation effects, something like that, that you use?
So what I have now begin to start doing when I am kind of like doing one-offs or overseas tours or whatever, this is a much smaller pedal board than I normally have. My other main pedal board is it's definitely bigger, but I have my diamond wah-wah that's on it, the whammy pedal, fuzz, a ditto loop pedal that's on it, the Raw Dog signature, Brute Drive, and the other pedals and stuff like that. But this is just basically a wah, a tube screamer, and I have one of my good friends, Richie Kotzen. I have his gadget on here, and it's a great fly rig. It's awesome. It's you know, it's pretty cool, man. And you know, the tube screamer, just a regular old. That was the tube screamer. Now. So that's it. Just a little gain and a little wah wah, and it's enough to get the gig done, you know. And the other is I use this so I can walk out here.
Thank you very much. And very important, this place over there is exactly the place where you can buy CDs signed with Harry Guest at the end of the show.
So that is was an example of the wireless that I'm using, and it's a Shure. It's really cool. Not all wirelesses have to be a rack mount. This is the kind that's a floor model, and it's a tuner and everything, all in one. And the unit is in my pocket, so that's how it'd be a little rough to do if I had a cable connected to me. So, and I got into using wirelesses within the past few years because I'm all over the stage, as my bandmate will tell you. And I just like to be free to roam about and have fun. So that was that. That almost felt like a live show just then, huh? Anybody else got a question? Yes, sir.
Just a very short from me, please. No solo booster at all, just playing with your volume knobs.
Right.
Every time, okay.
Yeah. I do a little boost every now and then, but just then was only, a tube screamer and volume.
Volume.
Yeah. Good question.
The last year I worked in a music store and I picked the left-handed guitar from the wall and I tried the way you do, and it was like I met this instrument the first time. So, but my question that, have you ever tried play on the guitar the standard way?
Yes. And it didn't work. It did not work, man. It did not work. My hands and coordination would not do what I wanted it to do. And I think about that sometimes, man, is how crazy is it that I wound up being worldwide known for my playing, but it is completely off of the radar of what is supposed to be the norm. Hendrix did the same thing, but I don't play like Hendrix does. Hendrix reversed the string. Some people get that a little confused. He played left-handed, but he reversed the string, so his big string was on the top. And this taking me back to a question that you asked about my practicing. The last thing that I really practiced was a John Mayer tune. And I just wanted to see if I still had it. And this is the song. Yeah. There we go. Hold on. So, when I did that, I was like, yo, man, dude, that sounds like some really difficult, before I even learned it, I'm like, dude, that sounds like some really difficult, excuse my phrase, really difficult shit to play. And now, mind you, that's being done by somebody playing right-handed, right? So, if I ever I probably wouldn't be playing guitar if I was afraid to take on the challenge of, let's just face it, 95% of the people that I'm influenced by are right-handed players. And I just said to myself, dude, I am so inspired by what I'm hearing. I am gonna figure out how to play this stuff, even though it's played by somebody that's playing the total opposite way. So, 40-something years later, I said, babe, that tune by John Mayer, a lot of stuff by him I'm a big fan of. But that song by him is just beautiful, because if you go in depth in that piece, there are like 2 or 3 different parts happening at the same time. One being the bass line. Bass line, rhythm, that's everything, and you got percussion. That's crazy, and it's hard to wrap your mind around doing 3 or 4 things at the same time. So I challenged myself. At 47 years old, I said, Eric, can you still learn stuff? And damn it, I did. And we was around the house and my wife just dancing and everything. And we was having a good old time, man. And that's the type of way that I'll just make sure that I haven't lost it. And when I say lost it, I mean that by being able to listen at something and learn it like I did when I was a kid. And nothing gave me more satisfaction than putting on a Hendrix record or a Stevie Ray record and learning it note for note and being so inspired that I would be afraid to go to sleep because I was scared that I was gonna forget what I learned. But then I would immediately wake right up and play it again. That's the type of drive and inspiration that is required for it to make practicing not feel like homework. If you find that thing that inspires you, that has you sitting there saying to yourself, man, I can't get enough of it, I gotta go back to it, I gotta go back to it. And I have to honestly say that my wife actually saw my process that I had when I was a kid at 4 or 5 years old, when she saw me learning that. And I was just like a kid. I was like, babe, look, I got this part, and now I'm gonna do this part, and then it was so cute, wasn't it? So that was, I would say that's the most recent thing that I challenged myself on learning. And, you know, I want to do something else too, just real quick. Now, there is some controversy as to the meaning behind this piece that I'm about to get ready to play, but I learned it and tried to challenge myself. So, the Star Spangled Banner, that's supposed to be an anthem for America. It's supposed to be the anthem for some people. But here it is, here's just the regular generic version. Right? So, that wasn't enough for me. This is how I challenge myself. This is the same piece, the Eric Gales way. So, that is the way. Thank you. That is the way. Thank you so much. That is the way that I like to challenge myself. You know, I hear a whole symphony. So I said to myself, how can I do all the parts at the same time? Accompaniment, melody, and everything else. So those are the type of ways that I try to challenge myself and do things like that. I'm a big classical fan. You know, I grew up in school doing a lot of symphonics and classical music, so it's definitely incorporated into who I am. And, you know, that's why you'll hear all of a sudden Beethoven, or you'll hear, you know, other stuff right behind Back in Black, or, you know, right along with Kashmir, or I Want My Crown, or The Storm, or, you know, You Don't Know the Blues, or all of these different things. So that's a little bit of the brain of Eric Gales there.
Could you tell guitar players, could you tell them how important it is to have a broad catalog library to listen to, and not only listen to the things that they like, but it's also important to listen to things that they don't like?
So I can repeat exactly what she said, because I often say this in masterclasses too. It's very, very, very important, and it's to your benefit to listen to and learn a lot of things. Of course, you're going to listen to and learn the things that you like. Excuse me. But you have no idea how much it will help you to also learn the things that you don't like. If it does nothing else, it lets you know what not to play. If you learn things you don't like, you know that I don't want to play that. You know, but then at the same token, it may not appease you at that moment, but you could wind yourself up in a studio session doing something for somebody that's exactly what they're looking for. And you'll be caught in a situation saying, you don't want to be caught doing that, because you'll be sent home really fast with no money. So being well-versed works in your favor, because I get stuff and I play on people's records and stuff like that that range from all different kinds of styles. And my engineer says to me, man, Eric, it never ceases to amaze me all the weird, strange songs that people want you to play on. And I don't get intimidated by it. I just listen, and I'm like, okay, I'm still going to be Eric Gales, because that's who they hired to play on this song. But I'm going to try to be Eric Gales in their setting, you know. So it all works. It works for you to just learn everything, man. Everything. Yeah? You got one more?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have to give the opportunity, Eric, to be energized for the evening show. But at least, sure. The last question, please.
Thanks a lot. Is there a style for you what you don't like, what you really don't like? And maybe you played it or never. And as you were a kid, were there styles in your childhood when you said, okay, R&B, no, not that much, or anything?
Never. I welcome them all. Especially R&B would not be a good example.
Of course not.
I love R&B. But no, everything, man. I was a sponge, and I wanted everything. Everything. Gospel, Bulgarian wedding music, Zydeco, ska, country, western, jazz, folk, hip-hop, everything, man, everything. Symphonic, orchestral, techno, everything.
Have you ever heard? Death metal.
I do like a little bit of death. I'm actually I wouldn't consider it death metal, but there was a band called Racers X, and I don't know if you remember them. There's a guitar player named Paul Gilbert. Paul Gilbert had a band called Racers X, and they had material like that. And death metal really gives you a lesson in stamina. Stamina is like being able to hang with a very, very fast, intense rhythm. It's death metal is not for the faint of heart, and I don't say that lightly. It is very intense, and it works on all of your muscles that you have to be well worked out for. And I have the Yngwie Malmsteen stuff and all that. I have an extensive liking for Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, Yngwie Malmsteen, Dimebag. All of these cats are people that Van Halen, all of them that I check out. Nuno Bending-Cord, all these people have been on my record player at some point in time. Yeah.
So I think we should let you go because almost finished this class. So thank you very much. It's really enjoyed this conversation.
I have had a wonderful time, and I thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for letting me have a part of your time today. And if the people here plan on coming to the show later tonight, I can just tell you that you don't want to miss it.
Yes.
We're going to have a lot of fun, and to see me and my wife interact on stage, and she is in the band. If you don't know that, she is an integral part of the band, and she represents for the women folk out there that woman power rules. And it's really awesome to see when it all comes together. And I thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys for coming out. It's
Thank you very much.
done my heart really good.
Thank you.
Thank you.